Welcome to another rundown of our group CrossFit programming this week. So the big thing here is this week marks a deload week. And what a deload week means is that we're going to have a little bit of a decrease in some of the weightlifting that we've been doing, some of the intensity stuff that we've been doing a little bit. So not that you won't see some higher intensity workouts with some RPEs of 7s or 8s or whatnot. But my biggest encouragement here is as you work through any of the training this week is that um, always feel like you should be having a little bit left in the tank, right? And we talk a little bit about this RPE thing, and with that, um, you know, you got to respect that RPE. You got to trust that process. And I think sometimes it's hard for us, like we do workouts that are high intensity workouts, and it's hard for us to slow down. And we feel like, hey, we got to go, right? And while RPE is based on the individual, right, which is so wonderful in it that, I can work at my RPE of 7 out of 10, and you can work out at your RPE out of 7 out of 10. But like in comparison, our RPE may be very different. And I spoke a little bit about this last week when we talked about, your experience or your perception is based on your experience, right? So after 15 years of doing CrossFit now, um, 16 years, been a while. Okay. But after that many years, my perception of workout difficulty or intensity on my body is very different than someone who's been doing this for 16 months, right? Or 16 weeks. And so our perception is based on our experience a little bit. But sometimes we also perceive things based on who we were 10 years ago, right? So one of the things that gets mentioned a lot is like someone is evaluating the difficulty of a workout, or they're evaluating their success or their ability based on who they were 10 years ago. And so full disclosure, 10 years ago for me, being at 28 versus now at 38, my approach to workouts is very different. And mainly my approach to workouts is very different because my goals for workouts are very different. In 2012 was my last year that I qualified for the CrossFit Games regionals. In 2013, I didn't qualify. I was still in the top 100 to 200 athletes that were working towards that. So I was still very competitive in the sport. But that really started to mark a shift in my training. And the reason being is I was going from a competitive athlete, situation to just try to do this for fitness, right? Still trying to be competitive, still trying to do some of that stuff on the side. But ultimately, then 5, 6 years later, and now I go from a dad of 1 to a dad of 3, and marriage and business and all of that stuff. Like if I'm still trying to approach workouts at 38 like I was at 28, I'm going to run number one, be extremely discouraged because my expectations are not going to be meeting what my goals really are. And then number two, I'm probably going to wind up getting hurt just because I just can't do the things I used to do, not because I couldn't if I wanted to, but because I'm not training in the way to do so. And so if I have these little like blips where I want to like go and attack this load that I used to be able to do 10 years ago on a regular basis because I was training 2 hours a day and I was, doing all the recovery stuff and doing all the like it's just different. And so when we focus on RPE, we got to focus on a couple things. Number one, you got to personalize it. Got to be set with yourself there, and you know that when you get 16 years into this, your perception of a 5 out of 10 is different than someone else's perception of a 5 out of 10. And then also be respectful of where we're at in our training age. Okay. Not only training age of years you've been doing this stuff, but also years your body has been training, right? So just where you're at. So as we get into this, think about RPE this week as leaving a little bit in the tank on each workout that you do. The reason being is we are deloading to reload. Okay. So deload to reload, because next week, the following week is going to be our max week. And so at the beginning of this little Olympic lifting phase, we did a max clean and jerk and we did a max snatch. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take all that training that we've been doing, this little focus that we've been doing over the last 8 weeks, and we're going to build that into new maxes. Now, some of you, this is a very new movement for you anyways. And so when you started, you were just working on technique. Well, maybe you're going to do more weight because you've improved your technique and you've gotten more comfortable with the movement. But some of you that have been comfortable with the movement, did a max, you might go up in some weight. Now, please, I'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but please know that really, if I want to do well in those maxes, it starts this week. It starts with the deload week. Okay. It does not benefit you to hammer your body. What we don't realize is deload weeks are much more for our nervous system than they are for our muscular system. And so while it helps our bodies recover, really the whole recovery engine there and the whole like resting part of this is our nervous system. And when our nervous systems are fatigued, we don't feel that the same way as we do when we feel muscular fatigue. Okay, it's just this, it might be lethargy. It might be I get sick. It might be that I can't sleep well. It's all these other pieces of the puzzle. So deload this week to reload next week. That's going to be our main goal of the week. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the workouts today. So what you're going to find is you're going to see a lot of that strength stuff move out. You're still going to see some of the strength movements in the workouts, but you're not going to see like a structured snatch day or a structured clean day or whatever else that might be. You're going to see just mainly workouts in here this week. So on Monday, we're going to do a little skill time with the ring dip or the dip in general. So a lot of us do like the box dip or the matador dip or the ring dip. So we're going to do some sort of progression there, much like we did a little skill time on the rope climbs earlier this week or earlier last week. But going to have a little bit of skill time on the ring dip. Then we're going to use that skill time into our workout. Okay. And we're going to do a workout. We have 3 sets of this. They're like 3 little 6-minute AMRAPs. So 100-meter run, so short run. Okay. A little bit of a sprinty run. 12 double dumbbell front rack alternating lunges. A lot of words there. But again, double dumbbell. So we're focusing on that front rack. We did those front rack holds with the goblets or with the kettlebells the other day. When we do that double dumbbell front rack, it really improves our posture, really improves that shoulder girdle, different than like what a barbell would. So that's why we do that. And then you're going to have 9 either box dips, matador dips, whatever your dip variation is, 9 dips there. You're going to do that for a 6-minute AMRAP, rest 90 seconds, and then you're going to repeat that 6-minute AMRAP, rest another 90 seconds, and repeat it again. And so you're doing 3 little 6-minute intervals. You guys have done these things before. But again, the runs and the reps are pretty short. So you've got the 100-meter run, the 12 double dumbbell alternating lunges, and then the 9 dips. And then we'll have a little cool down in there. Some of our cooldowns might incorporate a little bit of finisher work this week, just based on like kind of a little bit of time we have. So you might have a couple of like finisher exercises, but then also a little bit of mobility built in there. So, but you'll have those time in there to be able to get all that stuff done in class. And then on Tuesday, we're going to rock a little bit of, again, like you're going to have some power cleans in the workout, but you're not going to necessarily have a power clean strength. So we'll touch on some of these Olympic exercises like the clean and the snatch. We're going to touch on them in more of a conditioning phase. So this one's called actually supersonic. But we're going to work on now. Let me just full disclosure here. This is 20 rounds. Okay. Let me just get the elephant out of the room. Somebody's going to look at this on Trainer Rogan and be like, oh my gosh, it's 20 rounds. Okay, guys. It's 20 rounds, and here's what the rep scheme is. 1 power clean, 2 box jump overs or box overs, step over, whatever you're going to do. Okay. 3 pull-ups. Okay. The pull-ups can be a chest to bar pull-up, a regular pull-up, a jumping chest to bar, a jumping pull-up. You can do ring rows if you need to based on injury or not being able to go overhead, right? Okay. So 20 rounds. So this is what this is going to equate to. I like to do math with my workout. So you have 20 total power cleans. It's a fairly light to moderate power clean. So top weights on there is 145 or up to 205. Now, so bear with me. Up to 205 would mean like for our high level athletes, their clean and jerk is well over 200 pounds. So that's like the top level. Our gals 145. So like, for example, Coach Allie, I hope she doesn't mind that I call her out in this video, but Coach Allie did 175-pound clean and jerk in her max. Okay. A big number for her. It was an awesome number for her, a new PR. That being said, for Coach Allie to do a 145 power clean, like every round in this workout, that might be really realistic for her because she's doing one single each time and it's under her max. So understand, like if it's 205 and you don't have a 205 clean and jerk, then you're probably not doing 205 in this workout, right? So those are the top weights. That's why we talk about that. It's top weights. There's ranges in there, but it's going to be a moderate weight, moderate heavy type power clean that you can hit every time. It's not like, hey, I got to set up for this, but I shouldn't be nervous about this every time. So there's 20 power cleans, 20 rounds of 2 box jump overs. So that means you have 40 box jump overs total, okay? And you have 60 total pull-ups, okay? This is like these little quick little like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a steady pace workout. So what we're looking for in there when we're going to attack that workout is like it's a 12 to 15 minute workout. So when you see 20 rounds, I think sometimes you're gonna like your eyes are gonna get big and you're like, oh my gosh, 20 rounds. But the breakdown of it is very short. Okay, this is like one of your higher RPM days, RPE days. So it's like an 8 to 9. But ultimately, like again, you should be steady pace through this. So that's what I would say on this. It's just this nonstop little. You should be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And shell it out quickly. So 12 to 15 minutes max on that workout should not be that crazy. Okay. So that's on Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, again, there's not going to be any strength stuff into like the split jerk this week, or even skill time on the split jerk. Some of you guys have been working on the skill workout there. So this workout, this is an EMOM, okay? And this is the type of EMOM that's like you're working on an EMOM until you complete a certain piece, right? Until you complete a certain amount. So the way this works is you're going to rotate between these movements until you have reached 125 wall ball shots. Okay. So 125 total wall ball shots, but you're chunking that 125 total wall ball shots into this EMOM. So a few weeks back, we did an EMOM with wall ball shots that had a row in it for minute 1 and minute 2. So it was like a 300 to 500 meter row based on where your distances were. And there, a lot of people did that like kind of about 400 meters in there over 2 minutes. And then the third minute was max wall balls. Well, in those max wall ball minutes, most of you did about 20 to 30 wall ball shots. Okay. I think I did 27 per round. I think Coach Allie told me she did like one round was like 34 or something crazy. But so most of us are going to do between about 20 and 30 wall ball shots in that minute, right? So in this workout, you have wall walks. So you have 2 wall walks or half wall walks. So like, again, we have these progressions that we do in our gymnastics stuff. So, you might do a wall walk, might do a full plank, whatever that may be. If you're unsure about doing wall walks or getting upside down, we have one more spot remaining in our gymnastics cert. That's a shameless plug there. Or in our gymnastics course with Coach Lindsay coming up in a couple weeks. So if you're fearful or unsure about wall walks, maybe take that last spot. But we have wall walks in there and then 8 dumbbell push press in there. So again, kind of staying away from some of the barbell stuff and a couple of the workouts this week, just because like that helps us recover as well. But we get a different challenge out of the dumbbells. So 8 dumbbell push press after that. That's in minute 1. So 2 wall walks, 8 dumbbell push press. And then minute 2, you're going to do max wall ball shots. So again, say I'm going to only get 20 every minute. Okay. If I get 20 every minute, I've got to get to 125. That's going to be about 5 rounds of the EMOM, right? That's quick math there. 6 rounds, I guess, right? 6 rounds. But on the minute 3, you're going to have a rest minute. So minute 1, wall walk and push press. Minute 2, max wall balls. Minute 3, rest. And we're going to complete that EMOM until you finish up with those 125 wall ball shots. So most of us are going to finish there in kind of that 18 to 21 range. So like 6 to 7 rounds of the EMOM should get us there, right? So I want you to think about that 125 number, sure. But in that workout that we did a few weeks ago, I think it was 3 rounds that we had in that EMOM. And so a lot of people got in 3 rounds, got well over 90 wall ball shots. So just kind of think about that. This is going to be something a little bit not as daunting as what it would seem. So anyways, we got that going on. Got a little cool down in there as well on Thursday. Thursday's work. Sorry, I got to scroll my screens. Got too many screens going on here. On Thursday's work, I really like Thursday's work because it's kind of just this like week. So monostructural exercises would include jump rope, rowing, running, swimming, biking, ski erg, something like that, right? So this is just a strict, a total monostructural workout. So in the first part, we're going to do a little bit of lower leg TLC on it with some calf raises and tib raises, a little bit of jump squats. And that's kind of, so just a little bit more of a specific warm up that'll get the juices flowing a little bit on this. But then this workout is every 5 minutes for 4 sets, either 80 single unders or 50 double unders, and then a 40 or 30 cal row, or really you can go up to 50 cal row on this, and then another 80 single unders or 50 double unders. So again, clock starts at 3, 2, 1, go. You have 5. It's going to start another round every 5 minutes. So it's a total of a 20-minute workout. But again, 80 single unders, 40 or 30 or 50 or 40 on the cal row. We'll kind of determine your calories based on what we need to do there. And then another 80 or 50. Okay. And then when you finish that chunk, you rest to the top of the next 5-minute mark. Okay. So it's kind of like a little bit of interval work. You're going to get some scheduled rest in there, but it's all based on, where you're going there. And then at the end, we do have a little bit of a finisher work on that one because it's kind of just more of a lower intensity day. One thing on that's an RPE of 7 on the workout. So we want to choose a workout parameter that gets us at a 7. Okay. I feel like I saw some people in our Thursday work last week that was a 6, by the way. It was a 6 out of 10 on that. I saw some folks hitting that, and I was like, that's no way that's a 6. You all are sprinting. Okay. You want to know what a 6 out of 10 is? Come work out with me on a Thursday. I'll show you. It's going to be nice and easy. Like, work out with me in the workout. I'm not going to coach you. Just come work out with me at 1 o'clock on Thursdays, and we'll be slow and smooth. I promise. All right. So that is our Thursday. On Friday, jump myself back down here. But on Friday, again, we're going to get into a little bit of the Olympic lifts, but we're going to do it more in a conditioning setting. So really like this workout. A little AMRAP. I love AMRAPs, by the way, because AMRAPs are great for someone as a beginner who is just trying to kind of feel out technique and learn a little bit, and they just need to kind of go through the motions. And at the end of the 15 minutes, everybody's done it at the same time. Or those of us who are a little bit more experienced, they can kind of hammer it a little bit and get after it. Now, this is an RPE of 8, again, leaving a couple of chunks in the tank here. But we're going to do AMRAP in 15. We've got cal bike, so 10 or 8. So 10 on the calorie bike for the guys, 8 on the calorie bike for the gals. Okay, so short cals essentially on that. And then 4 hang power snatch, or they could do a hang squat snatch. The thing about that is, like, if we're doing a hang squat snatch, it's because we've done squat snatches in our strength work. Okay, don't just start to do a hang squat snatch if you've not been doing hang squat snatch in the strength work. Okay, so 8 and 2. And then in this, you're going to add 1 hang power snatch or 1 hang squat snatch essentially after each full round. Okay, so after the and again, it's 4 or 2 on this, so it's 2 hang squat snatch or 4 hang power snatch. So it kind of depends on how you approach the workout. So your coaches will work with you on that. But on the snatches here, after each full round, okay, you're going to add 1 snatch. So in round 1, there's 4 or 2. And in round 2, there's 5 or 3. In round 3, there's 6 or 4, right? So it's just going to add 1 each time. So the rounds get longer. The rounds take longer to complete. And so therefore, you're not going to be, if it was just staying at that 10 and 4, you'd be shelling out faster rounds. And you won't be doing that in this one because you're going to add more snatches each time. These are snatches that are pretty light. So top weights on these, even if somebody's doing squat snatch, is 135. Well, yeah, I can squat snatch 135, but I can also power snatch 135, and that can shell out very quickly. That's meant to be an easier weight for someone. So as you're thinking about that, you should be on a very moderate weight on something like that. So that is on Friday. And then on Saturday, we've got a little bit of a longer partner, 28-minute AMRAP. Okay, we like to grind a little bit on Saturdays. Number one, because it's partner. Okay, so you get to share in the love, if you will. But then two, you got Sundays off, so we have a little bit of a break time. So we've got 50 hand release push-ups, 50 dumbbell alternating box step-ups. Okay, so not box step-overs, but step-ups. Synchro burpees. Okay, on the synchro burpees, you can always and again, you can move to an up down, but remember, we've done those up downs a couple times on the synchro. Those get a little nasty. 50 toes to bar and then 50 box jumps. And this is where partner one's going to work while partner two rests, and you're going to split the work as needed, except for the burpees, which is synchro. So you're going to do those together. So a lot of reps there, but when you see the 50s in there and you guys are rolling through there, I did have coached a couple Saturday classes recently. This is one where I had a couple people that we talked about this, and they had like a longer AMRAP, and they went out way too hot in the beginning. And I was like, oh man, you guys look very aggressive. This is one where you're going to be very moderate in your pace. It's 28 minutes long, so you got to be steady in your pace. But the other piece to this is that you're not going to get that many rounds in because of how many reps there are per round. So when you're seeing 50 there, those 50 synchro burpees will take a big amount of time, more than the other pieces in the workout. So that 28 minutes may be 3 rounds, right? It's not really crazy. I think when you're looking at, as a group here, maybe you're going to get 5 rounds total. So again, not that many rounds because the rounds are a lot bigger. So anyways, that is our week of programming, guys. I know a little bit longer on the video today, but I wanted to explain a little bit about deload and what the purpose of that is. But again, if you have any questions at all, you have any interest to know a little bit more about the programming or why we do what we do here, please reach out. I love talking about this stuff, and I think a lot of times it helps us to understand some of the why behind the way, and when we do that, it lets us invest a little bit more into our workouts. Because we know that why I'm doing this, right? So anyways, guys, have a great week. Can't wait to see you in the gym, and rest up because we got a good fun week of programming coming up. See you guys.